babies. Comment ça va, cher? Welcome to In the Kitchen with Khalilah. So today we are going to make one of my most favorite dishes from back home in New Orleans. It's one of those dishes that is very popular. It is very sought after from tourists that go to visit the city. And it's just one of those things that, you know, it's warm, it's hearty, it sticks to your ribs, it's comfort food, it makes you feel good, it feels like Mardi Gras in your mouth and all that jazz. You know what I'm saying? So today, we're gonna make that. I've had several personal requests for this recipe from friends and family. So I was like, you know, and my kids was like, Mama, can you make that today? And I was like, sure, why not? So today we're going to be making crawfish etouffé. Etouffé is really just it's a, you know, stew. It's a stew that starts with a roux and it contains shellfish. So you can make a crawfish etouffé or you can make a shrimp etouffé. So today we're going to be making crawfish etouffé and I'm going to pair that with some crispy fried southern catfish, and we're going to serve the etouffé over a bed of white rice. Etouffé is one of those words that's very hard to say. I've heard people say Etouffé. I heard people say Etouffé, but it's a French word, so you got to say it with me, y'all. Etouffé. Crawfish etouffé. Etouffee. Etouffé. All right? So I don't have any of that here. So what we're going to have to do is go out and make some groceries. So come on, y'all. Let's go make some groceries. I'm going to show y'all this place where I love to get all my fresh seafood here, right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. It is one of the most great places, and then it's black owned by a man named Marcellus and his wife. So come on, y'all. Let's go make them groceries, get our ingredients, and then we're going to come back and make the etouffé. Let's go. So I like to purchase my seafood from Bubba Gandy Seafood right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And it's also an added plus that they're black owned. So come on in and let's see what they got. Hey Alex, how you doing today? Doing well. All right. So I like coming here to Bubba Gandy Seafood because, as you can see, they have nice recipes, fresh produce, my favorite chips ever, an array of frozen items in here. Today I'm going to be seeing some frozen crawfish tails, which are actually from Louisiana. They also have boudin balls, red beans and rice, anything that you would like to purchase from back home. All right. All right. Thank you, my baby. See you next time. All right. Bye-bye. Hey, my babies. So thank y'all for coming on my little grocery run with me. Wasn't Bubba Gandy the coolest little spot? I sure hate that Marcellus wasn't there to greet us today, but I'm sure we'll be back because I shop there often, and Lord knows I love me some good fresh seafood. So what we're going to do is go ahead and get this stuff unpacked, get everything set up, and we're going to get started on that crawfish etouffé and fried catfish right after these messages on In the Kitchen with Khalilah right here on Taste on TV. See y'all in a bit. Bye. Welcome back, my babies, to In the Kitchen with Khalilah right here in Taste on TV. So we about to get into this crawfish etouffé. So I'm going to go ahead and give y'all your grocery list, so when y'all go out to make groceries, you're going to know what you're going to need. I got 2 pounds of frozen crawfish tails defrosted. I got 4 cups of chicken stock, or you can do seafood stock. Seafood stock is better, but I didn't have any shrimp shells or anything to make my own, nor did they sell any in the store. But I think there are a couple brands of seafood stock you can buy. For your roux, you're going to need a cup of flour, a cup of Earl, whether it's vegetable Earl, you can use bacon Earl, you can use butter, you can use margarine, you can use shortening and lard or whatever you want to do, but it has to be a cup of Earl and a cup of flour for your roux. And I'm going to show you how to make a roux in a second. I preferably use the butter flavor shortening sticks for my roux because it gives it a richer flavor. And everybody know that a good Creole dish always start with your chopped seasonings of the Holy Trinity, which is onion, bell peppers, and celery. You also add a little minced garlic for a little razzle dazzle, and we also going to be putting some green onions in it in the dish, and also we're going to save some later for garnishment. Also a little, if our dry seasons, we're going to need a little Creole seasoning, little garlic powder and onion powder, and some black pepper. I do the peppercorns because I like coarse ground black pepper. So that's all we're going to need actually for our etouffee. So we're going to go ahead and get these seasonings chopped up. You want to make sure that your trinity, your onions, your bell pepper, and your celery is chopped fine, because you're going to have to saute that in an Earl for your roux later. So you want to make sure that's chopped fine so that it can, cook easier. Okay? So we go ahead and chop up this onion. Then we're going to move on to the bell pepper and the celery. I'm going to go ahead and finish getting my my trinity chopped up. And I hope y'all do the same. And y'all already made your groceries. And then we're going to go ahead and get started on this roux once we get all these seasonings chopped up. All right? So we're starting the roux. You want to use a fairly heavy pot. So this is an enameled cast iron pot that my lovely husband bought for me. So you want to have that on a nice medium heat. And what I'm going to be using for my roux today, like I stated earlier in the video, I'm going to be using 1 stick of buttered flavored shortening. This 1 stick equals to 1 cup of Earl. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put that in there and let that melt. Once that is fully melted, what we're going to do from there, we're going to add the flour and slowly whisk in the flour and stir it constantly for it to brown, which is going to be our roux for our etouffee. So now that you can see that our shortening is completely melted, what we're going to do, we're going to sprinkle in 1 cup of flour. And what I'm using silicone whisk because this is enameled cookware, and I'm going to whisk it in to eliminate, any lumps, because I don't want my roux to be lumpy. And see how that bubbles up? So you want to stir this constantly, because the worst thing you can do is burn your roux. If you burn your roux, then you're going to have to start all over again, okay? So we're going to reduce this down to like a medium low and just let that cook slowly, stirring often until that's a nice like brown caramelish color, okay? And that's how you make a roux. 1 cup of Earl to 1 cup of flour, and just keep stirring to keep that roux from burning. As you can see, my roux is getting a little darker. Right now it's like a light tan color. One thing about a roux teaches you patience. A good roux takes patience and time. This is not something that you want to rush. So far it's been cooking for about 7 minutes, and this is the color I have now. So the perfect color that you're going to need for this etouffee is going to take you about 10 to 15 minutes of constant stirring to make sure that it doesn't stick and burn to the bottom of the pot, which is why you see me keep whisking. And I whisk versus stir with a spoon just to keep the lumps out. See how pretty that is? And it's nice and thick too. And this is what's going to cause your stock to thicken up. I just wanted y'all to see the texture of the roux. And as it gets darker and darker. And like I said, you want this to be a nice caramel color, okay? It's getting pretty. So in about 5 to 7 more minutes, 10 minutes top, this roux is going to be the perfect color. And then we're going to incorporate our chopped seasonings, our trinity, and our garlic. Now that our roux has cooked and it's the perfect caramel color, we're going to go ahead and incorporate our trinity, our onion, our bell pepper, our celery, and let that cook in there until it's nice and tender. Okay. Constantly stirring that also. You can see how nice and thick that roux is with that trinity. And this is also the process when you want to make homemade gravies for your pork chops, for your for smothered chicken, smothered pork chops, even your gumbo. This is how you want to start your roux, with the oil and the flour, and to brown it. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my minced garlic in. Stir that in. Add my dry seasonings, the Creole seasoning, the garlic powder, the onion powder, and we're going to course us in some nice coarse black pepper there. And stir that through. Nice seasoned roux for that etouffee. So next we're going to introduce our liquids, what we use in this case is chicken stock. Or chicken broth, actually. We're going to use chicken broth today because I don't have any seafood stock. All right, so look how pretty that color is of that roux and those vegetables. So next what we're gonna do is slowly stir in our 4 cups of chicken stock. Like so. And I'm also gonna take my whisk and whisk this to keep that flour from that roux from clumping up. And also what I'm going to do for a little extra flavor is add me a capful of liquid crab barrel. That's going to add that additional seafood taste in lieu of the seafood stock that we're missing, and also a little spicy kick. Okay, so we can go ahead and let that come to a boil. Then once that comes to a boil, we're going to add our crawfish tails and let this simmer. All right, chef. Now that you got your base boiling, you want to reduce that to low. Now that you got your base boiling, you want to reduce that to low, and this is where you're going to incorporate your crawfish tails, fat and all, right there into the pot. Go ahead and stir that in. And if you feel like that your sauce is just a tad bit too thick for your liking, because you want it like a stew, like a gravy, so you want it fairly thick, you can add more liquid, whether it be water or chicken broth. It's up to you. So we're going to go ahead and let that simmer. We got that reduced to low. Next, we're going to add a couple of bay leaves. Do a big one and a little one now. And this is 2 stalks of chopped green onion. I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Going to stir that through. And then we're going to cover and simmer that on low for about 15 minutes until the crawfish tails are tender and fully flavored. Okay. All right, my babies. So while the etouffee is simmering and getting thick, we're going to go ahead and prep our catfish to fry. So I like to fry a very simple seasoned catfish. I buy my favorite seasoned fish fry, and the only thing I season with extra is my favorite seafood season. This is Seafood Magic. And a little yellow mustard. That's all I use to fry my catfish. Mustard, Seafood Magic, and seasoned fish fry. So we're going to take and make sure that that mustard is nice and coated on each fillet. And then we're going to drop these fillets down into this bag of seasoned fish fry. We're gonna zip it. We're gonna grab the bag, and what we're gonna do next? Shake it like a dog, shake it like a dog. Ooh, shake it like a dog, shake it like a dog, dog. Shake it like a dog, shake it like a dog, dog. Shake it like a dog, shake it like a dog. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it like a dog, shake it like a dog, dog. Shake it like a dog. So once you have it all nice and coated, we're gonna take it over to skillet. Drop this into this hot grease of cast iron, in this cast iron skillet, and let them suckers fry up till they're golden brown. And then we're gonna plate everything up once it's done, and we're gonna see how good and how delicious this is gonna be right after these messages on In the Kitchen with Khalilah, right here on Taste on TV. In the Kitchen with Khalilah. All right, my babies, let's go ahead and drop this fish, these catfish fillets down into this hot grease here. Go ahead and put that splatter guard on it to keep the stove from getting too messed up. Wash my hands. And next I'm going to show y'all how nice and pretty. We'll check on this etouffé and see how it's looking, okay? Let's see how an etouffé is looking over here in this pot. Oh, y'all, it's perfect. Show you. See that? The perfect consistency, like gravy, but not too thick. Just the right consistency where it's going to hug that rice. And I want y'all to get into the color of it. If you can tilt that pot so you can see how nice the color is. Let's zoom in some so you can get down into the pot and see how pretty that etouffé is. Absolutely delicious looking. Hey my babies, welcome back to In the Kitchen with Khalilah, right here on Taste on TV. So, I don't know about y'all, but my mouth is just watering with the smells and the anticipation of grubbing down on this right here. So, I am so excited to get this plated up so we can go ahead and dig in, and baby, we about to bust this down. You heard me? We about to go in on this food. So let's get this plated so we can eat, get our bellies full, and if y'all like me, go to sleep. Because baby, after a good meal, that's all your girl good for is a nap. So let's go ahead and get this plated up. Y'all ready? All right, here we go. All right, y'all, let's get this plated. So first, we're going to start with some rice. I like to use an ice cream scoop because when I'm trying to be fancy, I like to get that nice little form on it, that nice little dome shape. And y'all, if y'all ever see my pictures on my social media pages, y'all know I am very anal and very particular about my plating. So there's our rice. Next, we're gonna get us a nice little size of catfish. Let's sit that on. Let's get it to the side and push it up against there like so. And now here comes the, say it with me, y'all, etouffé. All right. And this is the most beautiful brown color. It's nice and thick. Let's see here. Do this without making a mess. We're just gonna put that on top of that rice and drizzle a little of that etouffé right over that catfish also. Doesn't that look amazing, y'all? Let's clean that plate up right there. Because if y'all anything like me, I can't stand a messy plate to be set in front of me. Look at that. We're going to go on this shit with a few little parsley flakes in there. And let's do some green onion on it. So, all right, y'all ready to dig in? Me too. Let's try it. Right here. Get a little piece of that fish. Oh, it's so crunchy and flaky, y'all. Some of that etouffé with that rice. Y'all ready? All right, here we go. Boy. Baby. When I tell you, ooh, this food's so good. Oh my God. Y'all, let me tell you something. We put our foot in this tonight. We did that. We didn't play no games on this plate right here. So, I know y'all probably want to finish this like I want to finish mine. So, we're going to go ahead and sign off. But before we go, y'all know there's one more thing y'all got to do with me. And I'll see y'all next week on In the Kitchen with Khalilah. But first, in true New Orleans fashion, we're going to go ahead and second line this thing on now.
This what y'all been waiting for. I said rock with me, rock with me, rock with me. Come on, say roll with me, roll with me, roll with me. Come on, I said knock with me, knock with me, knock with me. Come on, I said roll with me, roll with me, roll with me.
Hey, my babies. Welcome back to In the Kitchen with Khalilah, right here on Taste on TV. So, I don't know about y'all, but my mouth is just watering with the smells and the anticipation of grubbing down on this right here. So, I am so excited to get this plated up so we can go ahead and dig in. And baby, we about to bust this down. You heard me? We about to go in on this food. So, let's get this plated so we can eat, get our bellies full. And if y'all like me, go to sleep. Because baby, after a good meal, that's all your girl good for is a nap. So let's go ahead and get this plated up. Y'all ready? All right, here we go. All right, y'all, let's get this plated. So first, we're going to start with some rice. I like to use an ice cream scoop because when I'm trying to be fancy, I like to get that nice little form on it, that nice little dome shape. And y'all, if y'all ever see my pictures on my social media pages, y'all know I am very anal and very particular about my plating. So there's our rice. Next, we're gonna get us a nice little size of catfish. Let's sit that on. Let's get it to the side and push it up against there like so. And now here comes the, say it with me, y'all, Etouffé. All right. And this is the most beautiful brown color. It's nice and thick. Let's see here. Do this without making a mess. We're just gonna put that on top of that rice and drizzle a little of that etouffee right over that catfish also. Doesn't that look amazing, y'all? Let's clean that plate up right there. Because if y'all anything like me, I can't stand a messy plate to be set in front of me. Look at that. We're going to garnish it with a few little parsley flakes in there. And let's do some green onion on it. So, all right. All right, y'all ready to dig in? Me too. Let's try it. Right here. Get a little piece of that fish. Oh, it's so crunchy and flaky, y'all. Some of that etouffé with that rice. Y'all ready? All right, here we go. Boy. Baby. When I tell you, ooh, this food's so good. Oh my God. Y'all, let me tell you something. We put our foot in this tonight. We did that. We didn't play no games on this plate right here. So, I know y'all probably want to finish this like I want to finish mine. So we're going to go ahead and sign off. But before we go, y'all know there's one more thing y'all got to do for me. And I'll see y'all next week on In the Kitchen with Khalilah. But first, in true New Orleans fashion, we're going to go ahead and second line this thing on now.
This what y'all been waiting for.